Hello, 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 and welcome to Monday. Um, it's beautiful here. The sun is out, but I'm thinking it's a little chilly. And Brenda, thank you because you have confirmed it is chilly out there because Brenda's like literally right around the corner. So I'm crossing my fingers because tomorrow it's supposed to be nicer. It's supposed to be warmer. I shouldn't say nicer, warmer, and I'm a total warm weather person. So if you're just joining, drop over into the comments like where you're joining us from. Hi, Eileen in Austin, and Marlene, Nevada, Janet in South Carolina. I love to see where everybody is from. So we have been journeying here on our continuous curves. So I've shown you two already. We're going to kind of review those, and then I'm going to show you another one. And then we have one more week in continuous curves. So I think it's one more week. Let me look at the calendar. But even if not, yes, the 29th. I'm thinking it's going to be already May, which is crazy because it's definitely coming soon. So you'll notice, super excited about this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We are changing the name of Quilters Groove Tribe to Quilters Groove Creative Design Society. So I am beyond thrilled with this change. I love the logo. I love the name. I feel like it fits me and my personality so much better. So I'm super excited. So I am still working on getting everything set up. It's not quite on the site yet, but you can always sign up through the old tribe sign up page. So it'll still take you to the same spot, but we're just kind of revamping things. So what we're going to do is we're actually combining tribe and design decision dilemma. So for those of you that are in tribe, you already have design decision dilemma within tribe. But I had split it off because it was such a popular thing that I thought some people might just want that. So what we're going to do is the Creative Design Society is going to have two tiers, basically. One being only the design decision dilemma, and then the other, all of that other stuff, including design decision dilemma. So it's just kind of going to be all in one instead of two separate, but it's kind of two tiered. So thanks, Debbie. I'm glad you like the new name. I love it. Hi, Carol from the UK. So super excited about that. So the prices are staying relatively the same. The only thing that's changing is, excuse me, design decision dilemma is going to $9.97 per month versus just, I think it was a flat $9. So that's the only change that's going to happen. If you are already in it, there's not going to be any change. You're already locked in at your $9. For those of you that are in tribe, there's going to be no change to that. So whatever you're in at is the price that you stay in at. So don't worry, but there is also no price increase on that. So that's all the housekeeping stuff out of the way. If you are not following me on my blog, make sure you follow me on my blog. If you're not signed up for my newsletter, make sure you sign up for my newsletter, and you can do that right there. So let's get started, shall we? So continuous curves are fantastic, and it allows you to move your way across your quilt with less starts and stops. So sometimes you have to take a minute to plan out your route across your quilt, but it definitely is worth it. Once you get it, it is lickety split and you are going to town. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my view, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope that this is working. There we go. So here we are, and I'm going to kind of go over first off the first one that we did, right? So the first continuous curve that we did, we started here. Okay, we started here, and it's literally just a continuous curve, right? All the way around. And then you can even keep going all the way around. So this was just the regular curve. You can do this with a ruler or you can do it freehand. The key here is to look to where you want to land. Okay, so that's super important. One of the things that I like about continuous curves, if you don't want to stitch in the ditch, this can take place of your stitch in the ditch. Okay, so that is the first one that I showed you. The second one I showed you was, I believe, please in the comments tell me if I'm wrong, was just this, right? Give me a thumbs up if anybody remembers because was it last week or 2 weeks ago? It might have been 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember. That's how bad it is. Let's go back and look to see what we have in our gallery here. Maybe it's in there. And it's not. Oh, that's lovely. Nope. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it was that. Okay. So let's go back. So, alrighty. So it was not this. So let me just get rid of that. The second one I showed you, that's the one I want to show you today. I've got so many I want to show you, I can't remember. So this is the one that I showed you last time, right? It was just the fun little wave, right? I love that one. Again, this one's actually easier than the first one I showed you because you, that little hump, right, does not have to be perfect. Right? So that's a real easy one. So the one that I want to show you today, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in, I want to put just some reference marks here. Those aren't that great, but they will do. Okay, so let's go down to layer 2. All right, so what we're gonna do for this one is we're gonna start in our corner again, and we're just going to come up and then down, up and then down, right? And then when you take away the layer underneath, it looks like that, okay? So I didn't do it all that well, so let's see if I can't do it a little bit better. I don't like all of the markings. I don't particularly care if it's not perfect, right? Basically, you're just trying to... And one of the things that I want you to think about, right, is don't necessarily think like you're trying to create a flower, even though that's almost what, excuse me, it creates. Really just kind of go for that, right? You're just coming up and coming down, and you want to semi be in the center of your block, right? And you can see how easy it is to move around your quilt. Now, one of the things I think that you need to watch out for is all of that thread buildup that can happen right there, right? So if I had decided that I also wanted to do something, right here, right? That would be even more thread coming into those corners, okay? So you really, really, really want to think about it. And I'm going to tell you that this quilt I actually did just do. I just quilted it. And I did what we call, and it's over in Tribe for this month, I did a post-mortem on it, and I like to do post-mortems, and it's not necessarily to point out my mistakes. What it is for me to kind of look at it and say, this is what I intended to do. This is what I actually did. This is why I did it. And then there was part where I actually forgot to put in something that I really wanted in there that I feel would have made a big difference on that particular quilt, right? And I just totally forgot to put it in there, even though I had my roadmap literally sitting right next to me. So I knew what I should be doing, but I just forgot. So part of that postmortem was talking about the design that I chose for these blocks. I actually did have way too much thread buildup in some of the corners. And so I think that it's important when you guys do your quilting to kind of do a postmortem on your quilt. It's not really necessary if you're doing an all over design, unless you really didn't like that all over design. But on any kind of custom quilt, you might want to say, ooh, maybe I should have done this differently, or I'm really glad that I changed my mind on that. Thank goodness, because I love that. So it's kind of like just going over it and saying, okay, yeah, I did perfect, or what would I change for the future? And I do like to do that on all of my quilts. Just something I do. Anyway, so going back to our continuous curve, right? So again, you are just looking, if you want to be perfect, right? There's our center, and you could create a circle. It's not going to be perfect, right? And then you can come up, and let's put this on a different layer. Touch that, right, to that point, and then back down. Then you're going to get, whoops, that was a little wonky. I'm not used to doing it with this program, right? And then we can take away that layer. Okay, so you can, if you want to be, that precise, you can actually make marks on here so that you are precise, right? You saw me put the circle in. You can put reference marks as far as you can go all the way across your quilt if you want to do that, right? You can come like this if you wanted to, and then put your circle in. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do to make it look correct, right? Now, what I do want to show you, let's see if I can, let's get rid of that one. Okay, what I do want to show you is when it comes to doing triangles with this particular one, right? If this is my center of the triangle, if I'm coming up and then down, right? I can do it this way as well. And it kind of looks like a little flower or a little leaf or anything like that. But you can also combine, right? So we can come up. Okay, so you can combine the continuous curves to get kind of the look that you want, right? And I do that quite often because sometimes if your triangle specifically is small, it could look, here, let's make it smaller. So it's kind of more of like, right? It could be a lot to get in there, right? And it might not look as great as you think it's going to look. Of course, those are quite messy, but anyway, I think you guys get the point on that. One of the continuous curves, and I was going to show this to you next week, but I'm kind of psyched and I really love this one. It's one of my favorites because it's so forgiving. So give me a thumbs up over in the comments if you want to see this one, because I'm telling you, it is to die for. Love it. Okay, here we go. We're going to start here in our corner, and we're going to come up, and we're just going to create a loop. And then we're going to come this way, and we're going to create a loop. I want to do that one a little bit better because my hand is come up and loop and loop. Okay, so it goes really quick, and I don't know, when I draw, I feel like I've got to keep everything. This is one where, let's do our center. Okay, our center. Oh, that's not right. Okay, and then we're going to draw on this one, right? So we're going to come up, loop, there we go. Okay, and it creates an even even more fun little flower, right? Okay, so you can also use that one to fill a spot. So say we wanted to come and we're going to go up like this. Right? Love how that looks. Now we've got 4 threads coming into our corners. So again, like, you don't want to go overboard, so I probably wouldn't do anything else in that light yellow. I might come in and do something here. And that might be a little too much. That's going to be a little more than I like. So what if we did it this way? And really kind of stretch it up into that yellow. And you could even come and do something like that there. Right? Oops, and I forgot these. Right? So something like that goes really, really quick. If I wanted to do something different and incorporate, like, you know, because I didn't get the corners of my yellow block, I then can look at this particular block and do something similar here, right? So we can, and here I probably would go like that. Come down, and let's see what would look best this way. I'd have to go all the way around. So I don't, let me think about this for just one second. If we did this, go back to our original. And sometimes you do have to kind of stop and think. At least I do. Okay, where did I want that? Right? Because it's not here, it's here. In which direction? Oops. And I forgot to do the others. But I think that that looks absolutely adorable. So I'm going to have to put these in because that's going to bother me. Right? If you guys have any questions, you can always pop them into the comments, or if you're watching this on the replay, you can pop it into the comments, and I do get notification that, oops, that there was a comment. So, or you can also email me. And I think that looks, I love how that looks. It's so adorable. So those are the 2 continuous curves that I've got going for you today. Hi, Diane, how are you? So those are the 2 continuous curves. So I've now shown you 4 continuous curves. So I've shown you the traditional one, right, which is just a curve that you can use a ruler for if you want to be perfect. I've shown you the wave, love that one. I've shown you the point, right? And then I've shown you this one loop. So these are, again, fantastic to use on these types of blocks where you don't want to stitch in the ditch all of it. And this is a good replacement for it. So I am going to release you guys to your studio so you guys can go and create. And I will see you all right back here next week for our last little tutorial on continuous curves. So for the month of May, I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing for the month of May yet. So if you have anything that you would like me to focus on for the month of May, I would love to hear from you. So you can either drop it into the comments, pop it on my Facebook page, email me. Any of those methods to get in touch with me would work. So again, have a fabulous Monday. Have a great week. And I will see you guys all next week. See ya.